Hello and welcome. You're listening and watching the Royal Air Force War Thunder Broadcasting Service. And today we are gonna broadcast a match, a semi-final match in the losers bracket between two teams, SNJ and Sky Veterans. The mode is realistic battles, and as I said, this is I can already see one Junkers opening fire. And the team, Sky Veterans team, is asking for a restart. So we will do a restart. Since this match I will be showing you the SNJ team, I decided to run this stream in English. So I apologize in advance for my bad English, my bad accent, and my lack of knowledge of English aeronautical terms. So please bear with me. So, as I was saying, this is going to be a final in the losers brackets, and the winner of today's match will meet another team, the Aces, in the finals. We can briefly discuss how the tournament went for these two teams, and let's start with SNJ. That will be their 7th match today. They have won 5 of their previous matches, and they lost one match, the previous one, against the Aces. That was the semi-finals of the winners bracket. And now there is a possibility for them to have a rematch against SNJ. That is, of course, if they win this match today against the Sky Veterans. But for their first match, it was a very convincing win against LSKE, a team from France. And then the SNJ met a team from Russia, Ukraine, Poland and China, apparently, a team called Fly. And they won. And actually, we streamed this match, and you can find a record of this stream on our channel. Then they met another team from Russia and Ukraine called Zero, and they won. And then they met a team from Czechoslovakia, well, not really from Czechoslovakia, but from Czech Republic and from Slovakia, called TGM. And again, they won. And they won again against a WR, and that was another team from Russia. And in their in their 6th match, they met the Aces and they lost. If I remember it correctly, that match was last weekend, and they lost 2300 to 3200. As for their opponents, the Sky Veterans, they are not only veterans in name, they are also veterans of this tournament. That will be actually their 11th match. And this is most likely due to that they lost their 3rd match and they were relegated to the losers bracket. They won first 2 matches against different teams, against SBD from Russia and against the Radler team, also from Russia. But then they lost to TGM from Czech Republic and from Slovakia. And this is actually the team that SNJ... That was actually the team that SNJ beat in their own match against them. However, Sky Veterans won the rest of their matches later, and there was another rematch against the TGM again, and this time TJM was beaten by Sky Veterans. And after a couple of more matches, the Sky Veterans finally are meeting SNJ in the finals of the losers brackets, which is basically, you can call it the semi-final. So as I was saying, I will be showing you SNJ's side of this match. And SNJ, according to SNJ, will be starting with German side, and I can see that they have all chosen BF-109's Fs. Normally in the realistic battles we see J variants of BF-109, but this time it looks like in realistic battles the team preferred to fly Friedrichs. And the standard assault plane setup, but they didn't have any choice there. It's Junkers 87 G1 with two 37mm cannons. And the takeoff, that was announced by the arbiters. We are streaming with our standard 7-minute delay in order to avoid any stream cheating. Let's hope we experience no technical problems and the match will not be restarted again. Let's see what tactics this team will choose. In the more recent realistic battles matches that we have streamed on our channel, we started to see a tendency for the teams to use their assault planes, their Sturmgewehr and their Stukas as fighters. So in many cases the teams trying to eliminate all their air opposition and then just try to kill as much ground forces as possible without any opposition. No, nothing interesting is happening right now. Both teams are climbing, which is obvious decision for any German team. And I can see the fighters already at the altitude of 2000 meters. And the referees of this match, they announced that the battle has begun and no restarts will be from this point on. And I can see that Stukas are also climbing, as I was sort of predicting, and they are going straight for point A, it looks like. And their fighters are almost above them. So hopefully their fighters will be able to help them if Soviet team will decide to go straight for their Sturmgewehr. Sorry, for the Stukas, of course. It's just that in Russian Sturmgewehr means an assault plane, and since Junkers is also an assault plane, it's obviously is Sturmgewehr as well. And we have a first contact. It looks like Sky Veterans decided to use Yakovlev's fighters. At least 2 of Yak 1s have been spotted. And there's another one. So 3 Yak 1s, and I see that Junkers 87 are actually dispersing. And the fighters, the Messerschmitts, they are starting their attack on the Yakovlev fighters. I see Victor attacking one of the Yak fighters. I can hear and I can feel the AAA start working on their opponents. I'm not entirely sure which side it is. Well, we're obviously above point A, so it looks like it's Soviet AAA. Cosmo is closing in on Chippy. Soon there will be a firing solution, most probably. Yes, Chippy needs to watch his 6. And it looks like AAA hit Chippy. Chippy is doing interesting evasive maneuvers. But Cosmo is still close, 350 meters behind. Not entirely sure if he hit Chippy, because it doesn't look like there's any damage to his plane. And now Cosmo needs to... He did a loop and he got away from Chippy, but Victor is still attacking Cosmo. And I see from the log is that one Junkers was downed by Soviet team, but at the same time it looks like one Sturmovik has also been killed, and Victor has killed one Yakovlev fighter in an almost heads-on attack. Mikhail is diving on Avror and Z. It looked like there was some critical damage there, but there's nothing in the log. It did look like it's either an aileron or a flap. And German planes continue to do what they do the best. It's boom and zoom. And another eel is going down. However, Scorp E is attacking Aerospice. Yes, and he kills him. There's a trail of smoke behind Nermo, that means his engine is damaged, and it does look like he's retreating to his airfield. Match flight is very much damaged, and it looks like he will not survive. Chippy is still being attacked by Yaks, and there is one IL-2 right behind him. His wings are damaged, his fuselage is damaged, so... And Victor, who was trying to save Chippy, it looks like he will go down. There is too much fire going on. Yes, and he goes down. Another heads-on attack. And it looks like Chippy was killed by Yakovlev. Two Yak fighters are attacking Mikhail. But he's trying to gain altitude. He will do it much better than Yakovlev's, of course. Yes, and he's outrunning them. However, I can hear the AAA working on him. And they are actually very, very evil on this map. Mihavil is trying to attack Mr. Kot. But the angle of attack is not very convenient for Messerschmitt. It just cannot turn that well, and it was too close to the ground. Let's see what's happening. It looks like neither team has attacked any ground targets, and only 2 fighters are left in SNJ team. And I can see that, as I just said it, Sky Veterans started attacking ground targets. IL-2 claimed their first ground kill. Mihovil is doing another dive on Yakovlev, but it does look like he missed. His teammate has just landed. He doesn't look very badly damaged, but his engine stopped. I'm not sure why, maybe he did it manually. And he is being repaired. Looks like Norma is trying to convince Mihovil to pull back to the airfield, but Mihovil is too busy attacking Mr. Kot, which in Russian means Mr. Cat. And we see another attempt. Norma is trying to communicate with Mihovil over in-game chat, as if they're not communicating over TeamSpeak. I don't know why it is happening. But Mihovil is way too busy trying to at least kill one Yakovlev fighter to make the advantage of Sky Veterans less obvious. But Mr. Kot is doing very nice defensive maneuvers. He's hiding right under Mihovil, and this looks like it was a mistake on Mihovil's side, because Yak was able to shoot at him. I'm not entirely sure if he hit it. Looks like one Yak went down. I'm not entirely sure if that was on their airfield and whether he will be repaired. This did look like it hit, at least with his machine guns. And Norma is very close, actually, in 2 kilometers away. But together, 2 BF-109s should kill him. However, what Mr. Kot is doing, he is actually keeping the only 2 aircraft from the German team away from his other teammates, away from any Sturmovix that are still on the battlefield. And even if they kill him, he delayed their attack long enough, I would say. He gave his teammates enough time to repair, enough time to refill their ammo if needed, and enough time to come to the battlefield. And now he's going down. So Mihovil has been shooting quite a lot, so maybe it is a good idea for him to try to refill his ammo on his airfield. Again, I'm not entirely sure which planes Sky Veterans team have got left, because I definitely saw one IL-2 in the log, but I'm not entirely sure what constitutes the rest of their team. As for the points, right now there's only 100 points lead for the Sky Veterans, and there has been only 2 ground targets that have been killed by them. And I can see that actually one plane is most probably refueling. Is it crashed? No, it looks like he crashed, and actually it's 2 versus 2. And this is much more interesting. So it does look like Norma is going towards the battlefield. This is actually 16th minute of this match. That means the spotter aircraft has appeared, and killing it will improve the chances dramatically. Yes, definitely, I see contact there, and this is a spotter aircraft, and I would suggest Norma to attack it. Because the difference of having a spotter on the enemy team and not having it might sometimes be around 1000 points, which is crucial. He was a bit too fast when he's landing, and he is shooting his machine guns, just trying to slow himself down, but it's still 130 kilometers an hour, and he might not get away with it. This is very, very close, very close to the hill edge, but no, he made it in the end. Looks like Norma has been, he spotted Cosmo, but it's still 6.5 kilometers away. But this spotter aircraft, it's so close. And Cosmo is 7 kilometers away, so I don't know. I wonder what is the best tactics in this situation. Yes, it does look like Norma is going to at least try to attack the spotter, but Cosmo is gaining on him. It's already 4 kilometers away. Maybe Cosmo is also going to attack the German spotter. This is... No, Norma is passing by enemy ME-410. And it looks like there is one IL-2, and he started attacking AAA on the battlefield. Yes, it does look like Cosmo is actually trying to kill the spotter. This is a very close game, and any advantage over the enemy will be worth it. And the ME-410 has been critically damaged, but it's still not down. And Norma is now gaining on Cosmo. Mihovil is getting closer and closer, but it's still 14 kilometers away. Maybe it's worth going after IL-2. But it looks like he will try to help his comrade first. And somehow Cosmo got on Norma's tail. I actually completely missed this point. And yeah, this is a very close 6. And I would say BF-109, he's trying to drag Cosmo under Mihovil. And it looks like he's succeeding in that. But still, Cosmo is very close. 300 meters away. And it takes only one shot to kill a pilot. Norma is maneuvering, and this is slowing him down, and that's why Yak is able to gain on him. But it looks like Cosmo finally saw Mihovil, and he's doing some evasive maneuvers. Cosmo is doing scissors, and it looks like he is succeeding. But Mihovil actually does look like he had a pretty nice firing solution on him, and I'm not sure if he hit him. Because it does look like Yak is still pretty much... No. Actually, Mihovil said that he actually got him. At least some damage. And he is going down in flames. Now it's up to two BF-109s to kill this IL-2, and they have already spotted him. He is in 5 kilometers. Frantically attacking his targets. The advantage is right now 1300 points for Sky Veterans. But Mihovil is actually turning back, and he's going for the spotter aircraft. The Normo in his BF-109 is closing in on IL-2. I hear that AAA is starting to hit him. He's flying way too low over the ground. Looks like IL-2 has decided to go heads-on. This is very dangerous for any aircraft, because 23mm cannons of IL-2, they are very dangerous. And it did look like he got hit. Norma got hit in his left wing. Okay, that did look like flaps. Yep, Normal lost his flaps. He probably didn't really need them. IL-2 has been most definitely damaged, but I did not see any critical damage, any parts falling off of him. It does look like Norma has got only machine guns, and IL-2 has been critically damaged, and he goes down. Now the German team needs to do as much damage as possible to the ground targets. And there is still a lot of AAA there, and AAA counts towards the final score. So right now the advantage is 1600 for Sky Veterans, but they have lost all their aircraft. Actually, I lied to you, and it looks like... oh, maybe I didn't. Right now I'm not entirely sure if the AAA counts towards the final score, but maybe it did. Right now it's 1500. And the enemy spotter has been killed. So Mihovil will go and help dealing with ground targets now. He still has got his 20mm cannons, but his machine guns should be enough. Norma is attacking point A, Mihovil is attacking point B. Normo is pretty heavily damaged, but it looks like damage to his wing is symmetrical. He is managing to keep his plane flying straight. Doesn't look like he has a lot of trouble. Miholo continues harassing AAA. So actually Normo is writing in the chat that he lost his gear, he has to crash land because both of his wings are black. And he probably hopes that he will not be damaged too much to not be repaired.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
There's only 3 minutes left for this first half. And even though it's the SNJ team that is still in the air, they are losing by points, and the advantage for Sky Veterans right now is 800 points. And it does look like the Messerschmitts, they haven't got a lot of ammo left. They spent a lot of their ammo on these Yak fighters. Not a lot going on right now. Norma is still on his approach to the airfield. He will be landing soon. Mihovel is flying towards point A. It does look like he's finished his business at point B. They can still attack howitzers because this will decrease the speed with which their own points are decreasing. However, it might be a bit too late for that because it looks like it's only a couple of minutes left for this first half. Norma is trying to land without his landing gear.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
It does look like a very nice soft landing. Congrats to him. And Mihovil is, again, he's attacking AAA, the easiest target to kill, but sometimes a dangerous one. Actually, the advantage that Soviet teams sometimes have on this map is that Yak-1 fighters, they are capable of killing medium tanks. So actually Messerschmitts are in a slight disadvantage here, because most probably they started with their belts for air targets, and it's mostly Meningeschoss ammunition there. Not enough, definitely not enough to kill medium tanks. There's only 40 seconds left of this first half. The difference right now is 500 for Sky Veterans. Will Miho will be able to do anything in this half a minute, which is already 20 seconds. Still, 500 points is not a lot. We have seen in this tournament much bigger differences being. Yes, and it does look like the first half is over. Let's register the final score. It's 1100 to 1700. Let me update the scoreboard. Here we go. And the referee has just announced a 5 minutes break. Be back in 5 minutes.
The wind and rain, eternal fellows, drove people from the streets. I entered the town and I didn't see anyone. It can be fun, I thought, when I'm the only man in this empty world. I sat with a paper and I found my pencil. I tried to draw the void. The wind just laughed, it snatched my sketch and the smooth was destroyed. And then this time someone sets the campfire. The wind and rain, eternal fellows, washed away the dust. I stand by the tree and I wait for the rain to stop. It's only my hope, I know I'll find this campfire before it starts to snow. Look at my drawings, at the things that I've seen, and then I look ahead. The wind just laughs, goodbye for now, it's not the last time that we met. And somewhere there, someone sets the campfire.
So the 5 minutes should be up soon, and I can see that almost all players are ready for the second half. So we'll be just waiting for the referee to start the second half, and then we'll switch back to War Thunder picture. I will continue streaming from the point of view of SNJ team. Normally we try to stream both teams in the same match, so we normally choose either to show only Soviet side or only German side, because we think it makes it a bit more interesting and fair towards both teams. But actually this match is streamed by 4 different streaming teams, so I've decided to stream only SNJ. So this time, this halftime, we'll be showing you the Soviet side of the things, and we'll see how well SNJ can handle the Soviet aircraft. Again, as I was saying, 600 difference is not that big. It looks like we are almost ready to start the second half. Yeah, it looks like we were waiting for the last member of SNJ team, and it is highly possible that there was a substitution, but unfortunately I didn't take a note about which players actually played in the first half. So it is sometimes possible that teams, depending on which side they're flying, they will try to bring pilots who are more proficient with certain nation of the aircrafts in the game, so it will give them some advantage. Oh, and looks like we're starting. Yes, and I can see the teams appearing, at least one team appearing on the airfield. And an interesting choice already. I'm sort of used to seeing IL-2s as Sturmoviks for the Soviet side, but it looks like Much Flight has decided to go with IL-2M, which has a turret gunner. So, all 8 players from SNJ are on the field, so we're waiting for the referee to start the match. It looks like we have a pair of Lavachkin's LA-5F and 2 Yakovlev fighters. So an interesting choice for Much Flight. Definitely having a turret gunner sometimes helps, but in realistic battles I would say that it is superior maneuverability of the IL-2 without a gunner that actually may play a big role in a dogfight. IL-2M is a bit heavier. It will be much more difficult for him to turn in this thing. So obviously if the German teams decides to climb, there is no way that Soviets can outclimb them. So it's always interesting to see which tactics the Soviet side will choose. In many cases it's purely defensive battle. However, sometimes we see that some teams decide to cheese their way through this match, and for instance in the last match in the simulator battles that we have streamed, one of the teams decided to go for ground targets with all their might, with all 8 of their German planes. They decided to attack ground forces, and they almost got away with that. I think the final score for the half time was only, the difference was only about 400 points. So there are still different tactics. You would normally expect that by the end of the tournament there's only 1 or 2 feasible tactics that the teams can choose from, but sometimes teams decide to surprise their opponents and decide to cheese their way through the match. But it looks like in this case Lavachkin fighters and Yakovlev fighters, they are all climbing. Let's see what Sturmoviks are doing. Sturmoviks are climbing, but they're not forcing things. There's a very gradual climb. But it does look like they will still try to use their assault planes as fighters first, and only then they will start paying attention to ground forces. And the referee has just announced that the battle has begun and no restarts will be from this point on. For some reason I cannot see the other LA5 fighter, and I can only see, no, I can see all 4 Sturmoviks. Let's find this missing LA5. It's normal, and it does look like, no, actually it's just that I'm blind and I wasn't able to see him. He was right in front of Mihovil. LA5s are normally used to kill aircraft, spotter aircrafts, but with this slight change that occurred in the middle of this tournament, the spotter aircraft, they don't appear off the airfield before, I would say, around 15 minutes mark. So there is no point for LA5 to climb and try to kill it. They will be used purely as a cover aircraft for their Sturmoviks. And there's a first contact. Cosmo is flying Bf-109G. Norma decided to dive just to gain some speed that will help his maneuverability. And it's gonna be a first contact. Cosmo and his wingman, they are attacking the fighters first. Cosmo is attacking Mihovil. Norma is trying to help his teammate. That was a very dangerous attack from the looks of it. Mihovil is asking for support, but Norma is too far and he cannot keep up with Cosmo. It doesn't look like German fighters are making mistakes, they are purely boom and zooming. They're not getting involved in all these silly maneuvers. They're just falling down and then zooming away. And I can see that first IL-2 claimed his victim in the face of one Junkers, but Much Flight has been set aflame. Doesn't look like he will get out of it. Yeah, I think he goes down. And another IL-2 has been killed by Junkers 87. This is a very strange turn of event because IL-2, its sheer firepower is so big that it's a very dangerous opponent, and another IL-2 is going down. It looks like Sky Veterans, they are very proficient in using these 37mm cannons on the air targets. This attack on the assault planes actually forced the fighters to come down and attack Junkers 87s, but still there are Messerschmitts above them. This is a very dangerous position because they need to, for SNJ, because they need to kill Junkers 87s as soon as possible. But on the other hand, they haven't finished with the fighter escort. None of Sky Veterans has been shot down, and only 4 fighters from SNJ are left. And only 3 fighters from SNJ are left. But it looks like Psihopat has been set aflame, and it looks like he will go down. Or he has been incapacitated.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Connection lost. Connected. Connected. Channel switched. Channel
I
switched.
apologize, I had some issues with my internet connection. That happens. And at that moment, it looks like there's only 1 fighter left for SNJ. I am trying to reconnect.
Got him.
Yes, and I can see in the log that the last fighter has been shot down. This is basically... Yes, I was disconnected. I apologize for that. Last thing that I saw was that SNJ has lost all of its aircrafts, and Sky Veterans were in the lead. I think they lost only 1 fighter, and all of their Sturmwigs were still in the air. Not entirely sure if I will be able to reconnect again. Again, I apologize for these technical difficulties. Yes, again, I'm sorry about that. The internet in Sweden where I am working is not always as good. I'm trying to reconnect, but it does look like the teams will just call GG, because it doesn't look like SNG can hope for anything with most of the Sky Veterans team in the air. They're just free to roam the skies and to kill all the ground forces they want. Yes, I'm sorry, it doesn't look like I will be let back into the tournament room, so I will just have to sit here and wait for the announcement of the final results. Though, to be fair, there wasn't much that I could show you because all SNJ aircraft have been downed. So while we are waiting for it, and I am looking at the team list here, there's not much to look at. I can just briefly show you. I'm not hiding anything from you, it's just that the game wouldn't let me back in. But again, there's only the statistics screen that I could show you. Does look like at least half of SNJ team has already left the rooms as well. They left the game. I'm basically waiting for the final score announcement. Let's have some music on. As I was saying, the winner of today's match will go to the super finals where they will meet the Aces. And the loser of today's match, they have already got the third place. So congrats to whomever loses today. They have won the bronze. It was a very long and tiresome tournament. And many teams have played many different matches. I'm sure teams have got huge experience from that, and for SNJ I'm sure it was a good experience.
Ветер поднял пыль, а дождь вернулся в лоно земное. Ветер раздул костры пожаров, оставив лишь пепел душ. А дождь все шел, он не знал конца, и птицы в поле не пели. Никто из них не поднял лица, в небо смотреть не смели. Над тучами светит солнце, и лучше не видеть эту землю. Ветер и дождь, смойте эту боль. И дождь все шел, он словно знал, что некому больше лить слезы. Огонь безжалостно все забрал, и ветер унес наши грезы. стара. А мимо шел караван, знаток чудес дальних стран, художник, странник, поэт, скитальник мудрость искал. Остановил он коня и взором гору обнял, достал он краски и кисть, день напролет рисовал. Минуло лето, и вышли краски, рука не держит больше кисть. Вся красота здесь на бумаге, осталась облачная высь. За пеленой облаков, в безбрежном море ветров, парит волшебный корабль, сверкает снегом пик. Художник сделал шаг, но головою поник, с попутным ветром ушел, мудрец родился в тот миг. За пеленой облаков, в безбрежном море ветров, парит волшебный корабль, сверкает снегом пик. Ветер раздул крылья парусов, долог путь из дальних морей, но все сильнее дома зов, на землю родную бы скорей. Передаем последнюю сводку погоды, на нас идет небывалый шторм. Передаем последнюю сводку погоды, на нас идет небывалый шторм. Ветер крепчает, крепчаем и мы, холодные волны нам нипочем, греют нам душу о доме сны. Сквозь эту бурю мы до дома дойдем. Неси нас, ветер, неси скорее, неси нас прямо в эту бурю. Плечом к плечу и волей к воле, так пробьем мы стену любую. И, может быть, потом она сложит вдруг веселую песню, сложит песню о том, как смельчаки шагнули прямо в эту грозу. Вспышка справа, молнии свет, и сразу же звук грома. Дали себе мы достойный обед, сквозь бурю эту дойти до дома. И, может быть, потом она сложит вдруг веселую песню, сложит песню о том, как смельчаки шагнули прямо в эту грозу.
So, it was finally announced. Sky Veterans proceed to the finals. They won with a final score 3900 to 1300. I want to still congratulate SNJ team for reaching this high in the tournament. I want to wish them good luck, to never give up, never surrender. And thank you guys for watching us. We will try to stream the final match too. It will most probably be done in Russian though, because it will be 2 Russian teams in the finals. So again, it was the Royal Air Force, War Thunder Broadcasting Service, and me, Geek Maniac. Have a nice day. Bye bye.